Imagine losing a six-figure deal because your top sales rep was, I don't know, busy copy-pasting an email template.
Oh, yeah. A classic bottleneck.
Right. While your competitor's AI agent researched the lead, wrote this hyper-personalized pitch, and literally booked the meeting while they were sleeping. Welcome to June 7, 2026.
It is a totally different world out there right now.
It really is. I mean, the business landscape hasn't just shifted. The tectonic plates have completely cracked open.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
If your operation is still treating a CRM like some glorified digital Rolodex, or if you actually have human beings manually hitting send on outreach campaigns, you are just standing on the tracks while a massive growth train is barreling right toward you.
Which is, frankly, terrifying for the incumbents.
Yeah.
Because we are looking at this fundamental separation in the market.
Right.
The very definition of what business software is actually supposed to do has been entirely rewritten. We are no longer in the era of software just, simply storing data for humans to act upon.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the exact mission for today's deep dive. We are looking at a stack of sources centered on the AI revolution in CRM, specifically zeroing in on HubSpot's Breeze AI.
A really fascinating case study, honestly.
It is. And we want to understand the mechanics of how we've moved past that basic static software into this new era of autonomous AI agents.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you are running a company, managing a sales pipeline, or you're just deeply fascinated by how the mechanics of work are evolving in 2026, we're going to map out how this architecture creates an almost unfair advantage.
It really is an unfair advantage, yeah.
So, okay, let's unpack this. Before we get to the massive revenue metrics, and there are some wild ones, we have to look under the hood.
I do.
What is the actual structural difference between the software we had like 3 years ago and what we have today?
Well, what's fascinating here is the shift from deterministic software to probabilistic workers.
Okay, wait, deterministic, like it only does exactly what you tell it.
Exactly. In the past, software only did exactly what you explicitly programmed it to do. It relied on this really rigid if-then logic.
Right.
I mean, think about those old chatbots on websites.
Oh, the worst.
Right. If a user clicks button A, show them response B. It was just a highly structured flowchart that was kind of masquerading as a conversation.
Yeah, and it always broke if you asked something weird.
Always. But an AI agent, powered by large language models, well, it doesn't need a flowchart. You give it an overarching goal, and it probabilistically determines the best sequence of actions to achieve that result. It possesses autonomy.
Autonomy. Okay, so the old CRM was basically a massive corporate library. Like, it was incredibly useful, but you needed the Dewey Decimal System to find anything.
Yeah, that's very true.
And you still had to do all the reading and synthesis yourself. But an AI agent is like, oh, it's like a self-driving car. You just give it the destination, and it navigates the traffic on its own.
That analogy hits the nail on the head because it highlights the cognitive labor being offloaded.
Right.
The sources give us two phenomenal examples of this in practice. First, there's the prospecting agent.
Okay, tell me about that one.
So you shouldn't look at this as software, really. You should look at it as a digital colleague.
Like a literal BDR.
Exactly. It independently conducts custom research on potential leads. It qualifies them based on your historical win data, and then it drafts highly contextual outreach.
Which is, I mean, that's fundamentally different from a mail merge.
Oh, completely different.
It's not just inserting a first name and a company name into a pre-written template.
No, not at all.
It's synthesizing data to generate entirely novel sentences that actually sound like a human wrote them, after spending 20 minutes digging through a prospect's LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, it understands context now.
And then the sources also mention the content agent, which seems honestly equally disruptive.
It is.
It generates blog and social media content, but it does it by pulling live behavioral data straight from the CRM.
And that right there is the crucial differentiator. It isn't just guessing what the target audience wants to read based on broad internet trends.
Right, no more generic listicles.
Right. It is looking at what your specific customers are currently clicking on or what they're struggling with or buying.
Wow.
And it's generating content to match that exact psychological state. This attacks the biggest bottleneck in the modern sales funnel, which is bandwidth.
And width, yeah.
Teams constantly struggle with having a massive database, but absolutely zero time to execute meaningful, individualized follow-up.
But, having a tireless, lightning-fast detective is totally useless if they are investigating the wrong person.
Oh, 100%.
If the prospecting agent fires off a brilliant, highly personalized email to someone who has literally zero purchasing power and no interest in buying, you haven't actually solved anything.
No, you haven't.
You've just automated your wasted time.
Precisely.
That brings us to the targeting mechanism. How do these agents know who to unleash this processing power on?
So they rely on real-time lead scoring. And this is powered by what they call buyer intent signals.
Okay.
Historically, we relied on static demographics, right?
Yeah.
The system would say, hey, this person is a VP of marketing at a mid-sized tech firm, therefore they are a good lead.
Right, just based on a job title.
Right, but that doesn't tell you if they want to buy today. Breeze Intelligence tracks a web of behavioral actions across multiple channels simultaneously. We're talking CRM engagement, website navigation paths, social media interactions.
Let me push back on that a little bit, because tracking behavior across channels sounds great in a boardroom. But, how does the AI separate actual buying intent from random digital noise?
That's the key question.
Like, if I accidentally leave a tab open on a company's pricing page while I go make lunch, which I do all the time,
Yeah.
I don't want an AI agent instantly blowing up my inbox thinking I'm ready to sign a contract.
Yeah, nobody wants that. And the system isn't just looking for raw clicks. It's looking for specific high-friction event clusters.
High-friction event clusters.
Okay, right. The AI weighs the probabilistic value of different actions. Simply scrolling a blog post. That's low friction.
Sure.
But if a user reads a blog post, then immediately downloads a highly technical product architecture guide, and then visits the pricing page twice in 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That is a dense cluster of high-friction behavior. The system instantly recognizes that pattern and spikes their lead score in real time.
Ah, so it's waiting for them to cross a specific threshold of digital effort.
Exactly.
And once they cross it, the AI flags the human team to strike.
Or, even better, the AI strikes itself.
Oh, right.
It signals that this specific person is in an active buying window, which completely eliminates the old model of just cold calling a list of static names and hoping you catch someone on a good day.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because the sources outline what happens when you marry that precise timing with the deep personalization we talked about earlier.
Yes, the compounding effect.
Yeah. If the system knows you just downloaded a technical guide on database security, it dynamically alters the website content you see on your next visit to highlight security features. It's customizing the whole experience. And then the prospecting agent ensures the follow-up email speaks strictly to your security concerns. And the math on this is just wild. The sources note this hyper-contextual approach can boost conversion rates by up to 42%.
I mean, a 42% bump in conversion without expanding your sales team, that is a paradigm-shifting metric.
Truly.
But to execute that, to have the website dynamically change and the email automatically adapt based on a PDF download, it requires a flawless flow of information.
Right.
Personalization is completely destroyed if the AI lacks context.
Right, like if your AI sends a brilliant, perfectly timed upsell pitch to a client, but it doesn't know that same client spent 3 hours screaming at your customer support team yesterday over a software bug.
Oh, that's a nightmare scenario.
Your personalization just became a massive liability. It comes off as completely tone deaf.
Exactly. And we connect this to the bigger picture. This is why the underlying architecture of the CRM is actually more vital than the generative AI itself.
Really? More vital?
Yes. The sources lean heavily into HubSpot's Smart CRM because its primary function is destroying data silos.
It's like doctors sharing a single medical chart instead of making the patient repeat their symptoms to the nurse and then the surgeon and then the pharmacist.
That's a perfect analogy.
But isn't clean data kind of a myth in the real world? Like, sales reps are notorious for putting garbage into CRMs.
Yeah, they are.
Typos, duplicate accounts, missing fields. How does an AI operate when the foundation is just messy?
Well, that is the genius of integrating the AI directly into the data layer. It acts as an autonomous data janitor.
Oh, a data janitor. I love that.
Right. In a siloed system, marketing has one database, sales has another, and support uses a third. But a smart CRM creates a single, unified customer schema. It aggregates email histories, product usage telemetry, and support tickets into one pane of glass. And because it's powered by an LLM, it can probabilistically reconcile that messy data.
How so?
It knows that, say, William Smith in the support ticket is the same as Bill Smith in the sales pipeline, just based on contextual clues.
So it's constantly weaving these fragmented interactions into a single, cohesive narrative.
Precisely. And that unified narrative is what allows the AI to move from being reactive to predictive.
Ah, predictive.
Yeah. When the AI has 360-degree visibility, it can accurately forecast churn risk. It can look at a customer's usage telemetry and notice, hey, they haven't logged in for 2 weeks, and they recently viewed the cancellation policy page.
Oh, so it catches the smoke before the fire actually starts.
Yes, exactly. And conversely, it spots upsell opportunities.
Okay.
It flags a client whose usage patterns mirror the historical patterns of your best, highest-paying customers, signaling that they are primed for an upgrade right now.
Okay, so we've covered the theoretical architecture here. Probabilistic models, intent-weighting, unified data schemas. Let's ground this.
Let's do it.
If a team implements this on a Sunday, what actually happens to their workflow when Monday morning rolls around? Let's talk about the concrete automations that change the physical reality of the workday.
Okay, let's look at email follow-up first.
Sure.
The prospecting agent doesn't just write the emails we discussed earlier. It dynamically schedules them.
Wait, dynamically schedules?
Yeah. It analyzes the historical open rate data of that specific prospect and schedules the send for the exact minute they're most likely to be at their desk looking at their phone.
That is a massive micro-optimization.
It really is.
But what about internal operations? You know, the stuff that just drains morale.
You mean like client meetings?
Yes. The worst.
In a traditional setup, after a 30-minute Zoom call, a human has to spend 15 minutes typing up notes, extracting action items, and logging it all into the CRM.
Minimum 15 minutes.
Right. Now, the moment the meeting ends, the AI synthesizes the transcript. But it doesn't just summarize, it performs entity extraction.
Entity extraction.
Yeah, it pulls out the specific deliverables, assigns them to the correct team members, automatically populates the required fields in the CRM, and even drafts a contextual thank you email for the client.
See, I want to push on that because we've had meeting transcription software for years. You know, Otter, Fireflies, you name it.
Sure, we have.
But a transcript is just a wall of text. How is this actually different?
Because a transcript is unstructured data. The AI agent turns unstructured conversation into structured operational data.
Oh, I see.
It understands that when the client said, let's revisit the pricing on the enterprise tier next Tuesday, it needs to create a task, assign it to the account executive, set a due date for next Tuesday, and update the deal stage.
Wow.
The human doesn't even touch the keyboard.
Okay, that is a completely different level of utility. And what about the customer-facing side? The sources mention a 247 customer agent operating on WhatsApp and Messenger.
Yes. This is an autonomous agent handling inbound Tier 1 and Tier 2 support inquiries around the clock.
Okay.
It doesn't sleep, it doesn't take holidays, and it responds instantly with answers pulled directly from your unified CRM and knowledge base.
Which sounds great until it breaks.
Well, sure.
Because we have all been trapped in a corporate chatbot loop on a Friday night where the bot just keeps cheerfully repeating the same useless menu options while your problem goes completely unsolved.
Oh, it's the absolute worst.
It is infuriating, and it burns brand loyalty to the ground. Doesn't heavily relying on a customer agent just create a new kind of bottleneck?
The designers actually anticipated that exact friction point.
Okay.
How is why the architecture insists on a seamless human handoff. The AI is constantly running sentiment analysis in the background.
Sentiment analysis, like it reads their mood.
Essentially, yes.
Oh.
The moment a conversation becomes too complex or the user's sentiment dips into frustration, the agent instantly escalates the ticket to a human representative.
But then the human rep has to read a massive wall of chat logs to figure out what happened, which just makes the customer wait longer anyway.
Not with this architecture. The agent instantly generates a structured brief for the human rep before they even enter the chat.
Oh, nice.
It outlines the core issue, the steps the AI already attempted, and the customer's current emotional state.
Wow, okay.
So the human steps in with complete context, and most importantly, the customer never has to repeat their story.
They just experience a smooth transition from instant automated help to deeply empathetic human problem solving. It's like the perfect division of labor.
Exactly.
Which brings us to the ultimate question, the economics of all this.
The bottom line.
Right. Because understanding these daily efficiency gains is great, but we are talking about survival in a fractured 2026 market. The gap between companies utilizing AI agents and companies clinging to manual labor is widening exponentially.
Yes, it is.
So what does this all mean for the bottom line? Is it actually worth the investment, or is this just shiny object syndrome?
Well, the metrics are definitive. The sources report that organizations actively deploying these AI agents are realizing an ROI ranging from 171% to 192%.
Wait, nearly 200% return on investment?
Yep,
That isn't a marginal improvement. That is an entirely different weight class.
it really is.
But the sources provide an actual economic formula for how they arrive at that number, right? Because it's not just about firing people to save money.
Exactly the opposite, actually. The high ROI is driven by two variables working in tandem. The formula relies on eSaved and renew.
Okay, let's break those down. E-saved.
eSaved represents the labor costs saved by automating the routine hours.
Okay.
It is the monetary value of the time you recover when your team no longer writes meeting summaries, manually scores leads, or fields basic support questions.
So if I'm a business owner, does e-save just mean I can cut my workforce by 30%?
The sources argue that is the entirely wrong way to look at it.
Okay.
eSaved is about reallocating human capital to high-value, complex cognitive tasks,
Like what?
like negotiating the final terms of a major contract, or building deep relational trust with a VIP client.
Ah, the stuff AI can't do.
Right. You aren't cutting headcount. You're drastically increasing the yield per employee. And that feeds directly into the second variable, renew.
Which is the new revenue generator.
Correct. Renew is the capital flowing in from the highly accurate, probabilistically timed lead targeting.
Right.
Because your AI is capitalizing on buyer intent signals and deploying hyper-personalized messaging at the exact right second, your close rates just spike.
So it's a dual engine model. You are systematically stripping out the operational cost of busy work while simultaneously accelerating the top line revenue through precision targeting.
And that dynamic introduces the concept of the multiplier effect.
The multiplier effect.
Yes. A business can scale its pipeline,
Hmm.
process vastly more data, and expand its market footprint without having to scale its human overhead at the same ratio.
Wow.
The AI agents serve as the ultimate growth accelerator. They multiply human potential.
But, this raises an important question regarding long-term defensibility.
Oh, absolutely.
Because right now, in 2026, having this tech gives you a nearly 200% ROI. But what happens in 2028 when literally everyone has these agents? Does the advantage just evaporate?
This raises an important question. The sources frame this through the lens of building an economic moat.
An economic moat. Okay, explain that.
If you adopt these AI agents today, you begin training your custom LLM on your specific unified data layer immediately.
Right, your data.
You start learning how to optimize your buyer intent signals now. By the time the late adopters finally migrate away from their manual processes, well, your AI will have years of iterative learning over theirs.
A massive head start.
Exactly. You will be operating with a level of speed, personalization, and cost efficiency that they simply cannot replicate overnight. You're building a structural barrier to competition.
Okay, so bringing this all together for you listening, the baseline of business technology has completely reset.
Really?
Success is no longer dictated by simply having a CRM. It is dictated by whether your CRM is a static database or an active AI-powered colleague. By shifting to autonomous agents that can probabilistically plan and execute, businesses are obliterating their internal data silos.
Yeah.
They are acting on real-time behavioral signals rather than gut feelings, and they are leveraging the multiplier effect to achieve massive returns.
Almost 200%.
Yeah. The opportunity cost of waiting, of sticking with the old manual methods, isn't just a loss of efficiency, it's an existential risk to your business.
The market has fundamentally evolved. The organizations that integrate AI as a core operational partner, rather than just a novel tool for writing emails faster, are the ones cementing their dominance for the next decade.
The dividing line has absolutely been drawn. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought experiment to really chew on. We've spent our time discussing how your business can leverage AI agents to aggressively analyze behavior, send perfectly timed outreach, and optimize your sales funnel. But think about the other side of the equation.
The buyer.
Yes. What happens in the very near future when your customer deploys their own personal AI agents?
Oh, wow.
Right. What happens when their agent is screening your agent's incoming emails, analyzing your pricing page to find logical inconsistencies, and negotiating the terms of the contract with your CRM on their behalf?
That's wild.
Are we rapidly hurtling toward a reality of entirely AI to AI business development, where the human beings only step in at the very end to sign a legally binding contract generated by two algorithms?
It's definitely possible.
It's a wild, slightly dizzying thought. Keep questioning the tools you use, keep pushing the boundaries, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.